works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than.
It's time for Coach's Corner on KCCR AM 1240 and 98.9 FM. Coach's Corner, live from the Long Branch, is brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Fording Electric, and Gales Gas. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Oahe Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. And now, live from the Long Branch in downtown Pierre, it's award-winning KCCR Sports Director, John Winkler.
And a good evening as we welcome you here to the Long Branch. John Winkler here. We will talk with Coach Steve Steele in our weekly conversation that will be coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We'll also talk with Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team. They have the week off, but we'll still talk about how that week is going and that big win on Saturday against Sioux Falls Lincoln. And we'll talk with Coach Max Foth, homecoming week for Stanley County as the Buffaloes will take on White River. We'll have a conversation with him here to close out the program. So another good show, another fun show as Coach Steve Steele will join us here next. You're listening to the Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
For an excellent choice to meet, greet, or eat, be sure to head to downtown Pierre and the Long Branch. The Long Branch has plenty of room for the big groups, cozy spots for that intimate setting, and you're going to love the selections and variety on their menu. Plus, their specials are sure to please. There's a fantastic variety of libations available, and it's a great place to unwind. Now, home of KCCR Coach's Corner Wednesday nights, come on down to the LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pierre Street, downtown Pierre.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional $250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional $250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you $250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit GatewayFordToyota.com.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Oahe Federal Credit Union member? At Oahe Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Oahe Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Oahe Federal Credit Union.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to the Long Branch, and joining me is Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governor football team. As Coach, we welcome you back in, and let's talk a little bit about, first, let's talk about Friday's game against Douglas. You had the 43-0 win, and there's a lot of talk, and probably for you guys, it was something that needed to be done. You guys wanted to have a big win like that, a shutout too, so that defensively we're good, and then offensively scoring 43 points. That's got to make you feel pretty good after the performance the week prior with focus and everything like that. You guys were played right to the averages with where Douglas was at, giving up around 40 points. They weren't scoring any points. You made that happen.
Yeah, and, more than anything else, that's all we wanted to do was go take care of business the way that we knew we could. So it was really good for our confidence and for just our overall execution to go out and do everything that we knew we could do.
And now at 3-1 the season, you move forward to Yankton. Their homecoming here this weekend and on Friday night. A big game has kind of turned into a big, more so of a rivalry than other years. It'll be the third time you go down to Yankton in the last 2 years. The year prior to that, I think there was a lot of this is going to be a really good game between Pierre and Yankton. Yankton's going to be the team to knock off that 2019 Pierre Governor team that went undefeated, and we're down 63-0 at halftime. And then they got you. They got you for that first loss since 2018 last year in the regular season, week 3. Then he came back and beat them in the state semifinal to go to the state championship. There's a lot of animosity between the two teams, I think, and that will add to the fun of what Friday night will be.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really fun place to go and play a football game. It's a lot of fun to go win there. Maybe it's not so much fun to go lose, but their crowd, it's just a tremendous atmosphere. It's a town that's really been successful. I mean, there's a lot of towns that don't like Yankton football because they bullied the rest of the state for a long time in football. So I mean, there's a lot of history and tradition and success in the Yankton football program, and they don't like losing. And like I said, I know that one from 2019 really stung. And when they got us last year, every fan in that stadium made sure that we knew that. So it's a fun place to go, and it's just going to be a lot of fun to get down there and hopefully spoil a homecoming.
Yeah, and that's always fun to spoil homecoming. When obviously you don't want your homecoming spoiled, but it's fun to go down and there's a lot of distractions for the Yankton team. You guys can go down there and kind of feel business like and get ready to go while they have other things going on. There's stuff going on at school, probably leading all the way up to kickoff. So do you feel like that also automatically kind of gives you a little advantage, or does it maybe go to the home team that they get the advantage on homecoming night?
I always think homecoming's a double-edged sword, from a coaching perspective. If it's your homecoming, I'm saying. Just because you might have a little less focus because there's so many different things going on, but you've also got way more energy. That's the one thing that I'd expect is that when we do get there, they're going to have a lot of energy. The crowd, you always got a lot bigger crowd, on homecoming day with alumni coming back and everything. So it's going to be a more energetic team, I think, which is scary in itself because they're a very talented and energetic team. But like I said, the drawback is that focus does make it a little bit harder too.
They played Jefferson last Friday. Played them well. They ended up losing that game, but played them down the wire, and Jefferson's a good AAA team. What was the takeaway from you guys watching that film? I know you probably watched every game, not just the Friday game, but their most recent one. What was that takeaway from you guys?
Well, they didn't quit. Jefferson got up on them pretty big, and they were able to fight and claw their way all the way back and, make it interesting at the end there and have an opportunity to go and tie the game. So they're no matter what the score is, we've got to make sure that if we get up that we don't quit, we put the hammer down, and if we get down, we can't quit, because I said this is going to be a good football game. I think every game we've went there, even the game we lost to them down there last year in the regular season was tied at halftime. So we've just got to make sure that we consistently play and we try and play without the emotions and get out of the roller coaster of the game and just kind of take things in stride and, try and stay level-headed, play the game we know we can play.
One of the crazy things here for this Friday is that you get to the Yankton offense gets to the 30-yard line. They're in field goal range. Their kicker made a 45, I believe it was a 45-yard field goal last week. So that's impressive, and that's a college NFL type team where you get that far offensively, and you're in field goal range because most of the time it's like the last 10, 15 yards, and you're right there. So.
I can't resist. I mean, there's NFL teams that would really enjoy having a kicker that could make a 45-yard field goal. I'm not gonna bring up any specifically, but there are some NFL teams that would love a kicker that could make an extra point and a 40-yard field goal.
That got DT Meyer to look over here. He's here at the Long Branch right now. And his team's probably one of those teams that kind of feels that way. But just the fact though that they can make a 45-yard field goal defensively. You can't be upset if you give up 3 points because you did your job to keep them out of the end zone, but you only let them drive maybe 50 yards down the field, and they got a field goal off of you. Yeah, and that's one thing Yankton's always had. Going back to their tradition of football, I mean they've always had really, really good special teams. That's been one of the staples of their program. So I mean, for some reason they always have a good kicker. I mean, if you remember last year, they hit. Gosh, what was that, like a 75-yard punt, I think, in the semifinal? It was something crazy. He was punting out of his end zone and punting it to our red zone. I'm like, what? How does that even happen? But, so, I mean, they've always got that, and the one thing, so I think we've got a very good kicker as well. That I'd feel very comfortable from him, 45 as well. We just haven't had that opportunity yet, which is good and bad. So, that's definitely a huge part of the game. It's 1/3 of the game that often gets overlooked, but special teams can win and lose games. Yeah, and that's a big plus for them and a plus for you guys. And that's like what you said, too, that Cole Peterson hasn't been used, and which is good and bad because you haven't had to use him, but also that he hasn't been in that game situation yet, and it might be coming down to that last-second extra point or last-second field goal. But the good thing is Cole Peterson's a pretty good athlete in his own right and probably would be willing to and ready to go out there to make that field goal. Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of success. I mean, I think he's the all-time leader right now in goals, isn't he? I think he just broke that record. Yeah, by one until Ryland. Yeah, I know him and Ryland were going back and forth, but I mean, that just shows the ability that he's got, and and the ability to play under pressure. Because I think that's more so the most difficult thing about being a kicker. I mean, obviously the Vikings kicker is a very talented kicker. You don't make it to the NFL without being one, but it's just that pressure of the moment that obviously can get to the kickers at times, and I think that playing in those other sports and being such a successful overall athlete really lends yourself to having to play under pressure. Now, let's talk about their defense here real quick because watching some film on them, they kind of handled that Sioux Falls Jefferson offensive line. So that kind of tells you, too, because a AAA offensive line, they're getting handled by Yankton. That lends to being that they're a pretty good defensive line for them. Yeah, I mean, they've got a really big boy at nose guard. He's really good. Their two inside linebackers are really good players. And, they run a lot of different defenses. I think this will be, kind of outside of Harrisburg, the next most variable defense that we see. They have a couple different packages where they'll sub some guys in, and they move their defenders around a lot. It's not just a base set that they kind of play out of. They have a base set, then they'll have an extra guy in the box. They'll have an extra guy out of the box, So, I mean, they have a lot of different things that they do, and, that's definitely been one of the things that's been a challenge to prepare for. And then offensively, when you watch them a little bit, the quarterback, we saw him last year, and he was kind of that dual quarterback along with their senior that graduated. But he's a good passer, but when you move him out, if you can get him to move, the accuracy goes down, as it does for most quarterbacks anyway. But if you can make him move a lot, then you probably feel like your defense has a good shot of either tipping passes, intercepting passes, or just having incomplete passes. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of our goals this week is to not let him get comfortable because he's a very, very good quarterback if he's able to get comfortable. But the one thing Yankton's always been good at is running a scramble drill. I don't know that they've ever had that, or at least in my time, that prototypical drop-back passer where they want to sit in the pocket. They always feel pretty comfortable moving. But the one thing that the receivers do a great job of is when they move the pocket, when he decides to scramble, they all understand where they need to be in relation to him, and it's a very challenging thing, for DBs to run with guys while they're keeping their eye on the quarterback and then keeping an eye on the receiver. So it's going to be very important for our linebackers, if they do scramble, if we get him to scramble, to also control that scramble and ultimately not let him run around and let our guys lose coverage. Your last road game until the second to last week. You get a couple of home games next week and the week after that, one being homecoming, of course. But being able to get back at home after having the week 2 and week 3 at home, but how important is it to get back at home and play in front of the home fans, but also not having to travel again?
It'll be nice, just to kind of get back into the home routine and obviously just getting back to Friday games. Last week felt good just in general, even though it was on the road, just being a Friday game, kind of getting back in the groove of school and everything else and not having that, that awkward wake up and have nothing to do all day, but you've got a game later, kind of mentality. So it'll be good. And, obviously just getting back to the home fans will be really nice. And, hopefully we can play a little bit better than the last time we were here next week.
Well, the good thing is you got the win when the time that you didn't feel like you played very well, and you got that good feeling after that win on Friday night against Douglas. Now let's kind of transition here to the NFL because your Lions didn't have a good win or didn't have a win on Monday. They looked fairly good against the Packers to begin the game, but what went wrong for the Lions?
In the second half, Green Bay made some good defensive adjustments, and Aaron Jones was really good. Aaron Rodgers was okay. He obviously did pretty well too, but Aaron Jones was really, really good, and I think you saw the Packers rebound a little bit, but I said there's not a huge cause for concern. Because it wasn't a domination, and that's last year we saw a lot of those where it was like, wow, the game's over. I feel like it did just start, and we're down 20. Great. It was really good to see them continue to fight back, and I love the message that their coach is sending about, hey, stay positive, you know what I mean, and just this isn't going to be a 2-game fix, So I think he's got the right mindset, and it seems like the guys are buying in. And again, we kind of said this when they traded Matthew Stafford. It's, I'm okay if we just take our time and don't try and rush and go right to the top before we're ready to, because I think these things take time, and he obviously kind of cut a lot of people out, and I think he's starting to get the right people there, so it's just going to take a little time.
Have the Lions been enough kneecaps yet?
Not quite, but they have.
Okay.
They've gotten a few, and that's. I said the fire's been there, and I said I've really appreciated that part, and even Jared Goff, I think he's done a really good job through 2 games as well. I think you could argue he's done more with less. He's definitely got less than Stafford's got out there, but
right.
You could argue he's done as much or more, so it's pretty impressive on him too.
Have you used that phrase yet?
Which part? The kneecaps?
Yeah, biting kneecaps.
That is my fantasy football team name. Is the knee biters.
But have you used it in practice on your team? Will you use it on practice?
You never know. If we ever needed it, maybe there's a situation we need it, but yeah, no.
Right now, no, you haven't used it. Okay, I was just wondering if maybe you use that phrase.
Well, and the knee biters are 2-0, importantly.
Well, that's good. Yeah, Aaron Jones, I know how good he did because he made my team 1-1, or the team that I was playing against made me 1-1.
Yeah.
But also, let's before we wrap things up here, and we'll talk one more a little bit about Yankton, but also as we get our picks tomorrow, you, me, and DT are all in last place. Zach is in first place all by himself. How does that make you feel?
I don't even know how to respond to that exactly. But that's it. It's a long season, and we've got. Well, I guess there's an extra week technically, right? There's 18 weeks now.
Yeah, there's.
So if we don't call it a week early, you know what I mean. If you decide to change the rules on us again at the 11th hour, then we still got 15 weeks or 16 weeks to come back here.
We'll see what happens if I'm winning.
Yeah, we might shut her down at week 4 then. Huh?
That's right, yeah. We'll be done after next week, yeah. But before I let you go talk with Coach Steve Steele, the Peer Governors, what's it going to take to knock off the Yankton Bucks here on Friday night?
Offensively, we've got to have great communication up front. They run so many different things that we've got to understand what they're trying to accomplish and get ourselves into the plays that we've practiced for those different looks. And then, defensively, we've got to be able to line up fast. They're a no-huddle and up-tempo team, so I think that's one thing that really hurt us last year in the regular season. So line up fast and communicate again because, they're going to be moving around and they kind of thrive off of that miscommunications, because they're going to line up and move and run different plays so fast that they just want you to have a communication breakdown. So if we can all be on the same page and flying around out there, we'll be in good shape.
Peer Governors take on the Yankton Bucks here on a Friday night down in Yankton. We'll have it for you here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Greg Dean will join me for the call. Coach, as always, it's always fun talking to you, and we'll talk again tomorrow because for our NFL picks, which you can listen just after 10 o'clock for those. But we'll also talk to you before the pregame or during the pregame on Friday, and good luck on Friday, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, John.
Head Coach Steve Steele, the Peer Governor football team, as, again, they take on the Yankton Bucks on a Friday. They will have coverage starting at 6:30 with kickoff at 7 o'clock here on KCCR and available to watch on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Joining me next is going to be Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Peer Governor volleyball team. We'll come back here live for the Long Branch. You're listening to Coach's Corner here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dale and DT here for the LB.
You know, Dale, the Long Branch offers variety, live music, and drink specials to help you unwind.
True, but you have got to try one of the most diverse menus available.
Got to get in a shout out for their wings. Some of the best in town. Tuesdays, they have wing specials and a killer selection of flavors.
And now, the LB is home of the KCC Corner. Wednesday nights up on the big stage.
Come for the food, stay for the fun. The LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street in downtown Pier.
As you give the lawn one final pass, enjoy that crisp fall air on your moist, furrowed brow before you throw yourself onto a monstrous pile of leaves and join First Dakota to bank some noise for fall sports. Shriek for floor-rattling spikes, whoop at game-saving stops, and gasp in awe at high-flying stunts. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com. Member FDIC.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the costs throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wagner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wagner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, wagnerauto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wagner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to wagnerauto.com or stop by Wagner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here live at the Long Branch Coach's Corner here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Joining me is Coach Tiffany Stosher, the Pierre Governor volleyball team, who is in the midst of their bye week. You guys played last Saturday against Sioux Falls Lincoln and now won't play again until next week, Tuesday, against Rapid City Christian. Now, coming off of this week off, you have some really tough games, and you're right in the midst of that tough stretch. But how has the week been to this point? Because, you guys get the full week to practice, whether it's preparing for Tuesday's opponent or maybe just preparing as your own team.
Yeah, we're taking this week where, this is exactly the halfway point for us. And so we're talking a lot about moving from a good volleyball team to a great volleyball team. And we're working on some advanced what I would consider some advanced drills in practice, some things that we haven't even got to work on every year to try and push ourselves to get to that next level and rest our legs a little bit for a long next week.
Yeah, and we'll just kind of preview a little bit about that. Rapid City Christian, who's currently undefeated, I believe they still are. O'Gorman is undefeated, and then you get Brandon Valley on that Saturday. So you get two undefeated teams back-to-back, both on the road, both on opposite ends of the state. You go to Rapid City, then you go to Sioux Falls, and then you're back at home on Saturday. But that Saturday game, last Saturday against Sioux Falls Lincoln, a 3-set sweep over the Patriots, and a team that had only lost to Washington, who took them to 5 sets. Who that Washington team had just swept you guys, and we talked about how it wasn't really a sweep. You had an opportunity to win that second game, but that was a really impressive win. Because when I was talking to Coach Brandon Kusler before we even started the pregame interview on Saturday, it was, I don't think there's any way that this game goes as a sweep for either side. I think it's going to be a 4 or 5 set game, and all of a sudden you guys come out and really never trailed at all the entire 3 sets. Didn't win it easily. You guys worked hard to get that win, but things looked easy at times for you guys, which has got to feel really good.
Yeah, I kind of thought whoever had to play us after that Washington loss was going to have to play a pretty fierce group of girls, because they were really frustrated with that loss against Washington. And, a lot of times you're upset in the locker room and you get back on the bus and you kind of start to let things go. But not this group. They were mad the whole way home. They were still mad on Friday and bound and determined to make good things happen after that. And so I knew they were ready for Saturday. We were all ready for Saturday, and they were ready to have people look at them under a different light.
Yeah, and because I think there is it's still a lot to prove, even after being the start that you had, being at 7-0, and then losing to Washington. I think there is still a lot to prove, and maybe you want to say to anybody that's doubting you, like, that's one loss to a really, really good team, because we're a really good team. We're going to beat most of the competition here this year.
Sure, there's still teams that don't believe it, that don't believe in us, and just can't believe peers in the ratings. And so we think that, we got a little bit of a chip on our shoulder. We think we want to show those people that we do belong, and they want to change what Governor Volleyball looks like. And so they're working hard. They're working hard as a team, a lot of things after practice as a group, as a team, and we got things to show people, so I'm excited for the second half of the year.
And that's big too, that people that are still doubting you, and the girls are using that as motivation too, not listening to that at all and saying, well, we're going to go prove you wrong instead.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about that. You can buy in and you can start to believe that, but I really think this community and the crowd support at our home game, oh my goodness, that's something that we haven't had in a while. And this tunnel that the students are doing, and it seems like we have more and more students each game, and they've got the brooms out and just creating a ton of excitement for us, that we feel that at least this community believes in them. And so as a town of Pierre, we're excited to be marked as a good volleyball team and start showing other towns. I think, some of the surrounding communities, surrounding coaches are pulling for us a little bit, of these smaller schools that are, that have to play these Sioux Falls schools year after year, and we watch them be in the top. They're kind of pulling for us, and I'm getting emails, and, they're helping with some scouting reports. And so they're starting to believe in us, and hopefully it keeps bleeding through the state.
And you guys get this week off, which is it good or bad to have the full week off? And you're going to make it a good thing no matter what. But would you have liked to see, especially after how Saturday went, would you have liked to seen you guys play, whether it was yesterday or playing again tomorrow, and not having a full week off?
Yeah, especially because we have 3 games in 5 days next week. Having one this week would have been helpful. Have one and then go 2 next week. Sometimes when you get, we've got 10 days off, we've got 7 practices in there with no game, it gets long. But the good thing is they're ready to see some competition at that point. And so next week, we watched Rapid City Christian. That's who we play on Tuesday. We watched them, and we're able to plan for that. And so we're kind of prepping for all 3 games this week, because we've got some time to do that. So we're making it count. We're doing what we need to do with all this time off. But yeah, if I had the choice, I would have taken a game this week.
Well, and that's the interesting thing too, is that you guys can almost prepare for all 3 teams by watching their games and not really feeling like you're overlooking anybody, because you've got this time off, correct?
Correct, yeah. And then they play a lot of games. All 3 teams that we play are playing out in Sioux Falls this weekend, and so we're going to get to watch some of that and as a group and continue to prepare. So we're spending time getting ready for 3 big battles, and hopefully that we're ready to go.
one of the big things that you guys get to do this week is get to go see some middle school volleyball and a chance for the high school girls and for the coaches and everything kind of cheer on the future generation of Pierre Governor volleyball.
Absolutely, and our older girls want to be there. We conditioned really hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This week went real hard in practice, and so I know they're ready for tomorrow to sit back and do something kind of a little bit more fun. I'll call out Avery Kaiser. She kind of said, "Gosh, you guys have really been working as hard these last couple of days," and we reminded her that tomorrow we're going to go watch some volleyball, so she was okay with it. But these older girls, this varsity team really thinks that they're starting to build a program here, and they want this to continue. And so we're going to go down and cheer those middle school girls on, those 7th and 8th graders. I know Mitchell's coming to town, and that's also always a fun competition. And so hopefully seeing some fellow teammates in the stands will be exciting for them.
You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront Broadcasting station, as we roll up at 6 o'clock, talking with Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team, who are in the midst of that 10-day break, pretty much, I guess, is right around 5 days, right around day 4 or 5, somewhere around there. And you guys are playing next Tuesday against Rapid City Christian on the road, and then on the road against O'Gorman on Thursday, and then back at home on Saturday against Brandon Valley. As you get ready for that Christian game, it's a Class A opponent. You don't usually see Class A opponents on the schedule very often for the Pierre Governors, no matter what sport it is. So seeing that, but they probably don't look so much like a Class A opponent. They've played a lot of AA teams so far, and to beat some of these AA teams is also impressive.
Yeah, they're a very good ball team. And we haven't had an A school on our schedule at all, volleyball schedule at all. And so this will be a first for us. I watched them play in Bellefouche last night. So now they won that in 4 sets. Bellefouche is good. They're highly ranked. They were undefeated. So it was a battle last night of 2 undefeated teams. I think Rapid City is 12-0 now. And so they're used to winning. They expect to win when we show up in their gym as well. I think they defend their court very well. They play some clean volleyball. They stay in system. And this is going to be a big test for us on Tuesday.
I was about to ask you, what makes them dangerous? When you watch them, what's the biggest thing that you point out and say, this is why they're undefeated right now?
They serve and pass really well, really, really well. And so you can tell, that's what every good volleyball team works on the majority of the time is your serve and pass. So that's what we always say, when you're serving, that's the one time you're in complete control of the game. You are in complete control, and so we use that as a weapon. Our coaches call serving a weapon for us. That's when we have 100% control. So you can tell they work on that a lot. They serve hard spots. They serve hard. They serve short. And then they pass. They seem to pass right to their target every time. And so if you can do that, you're going to win a lot of games, and they've definitely done that this season.
And there's you can argue that you guys do it really, really well as well, especially serving-wise and passing too. But you guys serving-wise have been very, very good this year.
Yeah. And watching their defense, I think we can throw them out of system. I'm confident in our serving team and in our passing as well. And so we're looking forward to the challenge. It's different. It's, they've got a 4-person serve receive, different than we've seen. They use their outsides, honestly, 99% of the time. And so we're working on a lot of defense for outside attacks. But we're preparing for them. Like I said, it's a challenge, but they are nobody to look over. They had Sturgis and Spearfish on their schedule, took care of them, both those teams in 3 sets, and everybody else that they've played. And so we're going to be ready to battle.
You got your son Hudson here with you here this evening. A chance to maybe brag on him a little bit while you're here, if you want to give a chance to, or maybe he hasn't done his chores, so maybe you can tell him that he needs to do his chores.
I can brag on him a little bit. He's really loving 7th grade football right now, and so I picked him up from practice, and he got to stop at Coach's Corner with Mom because we didn't have time to go home. But he's doing great in football. We're sure proud of him. He's doing really well in school. I'm even more proud about that. So pretty good kid, and he and I are each other's #1 fan, I think.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, because you get a chance to, he gets a chance to come watch some volleyball, but you get a chance to watch him play some football, and that's the beauty of a lot of what Pierre Governor sports is not just athletes get to play different sports, but the coaches get a chance to go watch different sports and to be a part of it, whether it's your son or just not someone else, but you get a chance to be a mom and also be a coach at the same time.
Yeah, and so we talk a lot of sports. My kids and I and my husband, we talk a lot of sports at home, and we think that they're important and that kids should be involved in those types of things. And what a better football program to get involved with than the Pierre one, right?
Right. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay, you don't have to really suck up to Coach Steele right now. He's already gone. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Expecting any daughters, he has to play volleyball.
That's right. There's the trade-off right there.
You bet.
So, again, talking with Coach Tiffany Stocher, the Pierre Gunner volleyball team. They will take on Rapid City Christian here coming up on Thursday, next Tuesday, and then O'Gorman on Thursday, Brandon Valley back at home on Saturday. So basically now you get a chance to look at the stretch run here and where you guys are sitting at in the AA standings. It's not guaranteed to host a SODAC 16 game, but you've put yourself in a really good spot to do that and just continue to play your volleyball, and you'll get a SODAC 16 game coming up at the end of the season. How important is that? Because we haven't seen it in Pierre in a long time. Actually, haven't seen it since the SODAC 16 has become a thing. How important is it to get that first one? And that also means you guys are the favorite then to go to the state tournament here in a couple months.
It's a huge motivator for us, especially when, like I said, when you see a crowd like we've seen, just people in green all around, or purple, or whatever color the student section's wearing at the time. But we're feeling, for volleyball, for the volleyball program, that's exciting. I'm not trying to, put volleyball in a different light or anything, but we haven't typically seen that in the past. And, it's fun. We love to go to football games as a family and boys basketball games, and you see those just be incredibly full all the time. So this is new for our girls. They're loving it. We want to be a team that supports other programs, but to have the people in there and is huge. And so if we can play a SODAC 16 game at home, be first to do so, and even better yet, get to the state tournament, that'd be the ultimate prize for this group, and they absolutely deserve it.
And you mentioned that they're loving it. They're embracing how big the crowd is. They're not getting scared of, you want to perform well in front of your home fans all the time, but they're embracing the fact that they get to do that, not to be too timid about it.
Right. The winning's fun, and they're having a great time with it. They take care of each other. My gosh, you would think that all 10 of them have been best friends forever, the way that they interact with each other, and no drama. They don't care who gets the accolades or who gets the point or anything. They're just excited to be a good ball team, and they've wanted this their whole lives, and I'm excited that they're letting me be a part of that.
Coach Tiffany Stocher, the Pierre Gunner volleyball team, again, they take on Rapid City Christian as they return from after a 10-day layoff that was scheduled in, no COVID break like there was last year of any kind of having to take any time off. It was scheduled in, so you get a chance to practice that entire time. But let's talk about Rapid City before I let you go. What's it going to take to knock them off, not even for you guys to get that next win, but to knock them off for the first time for them?
Yeah, it's going to – we say be aggressive every time. That's what it's going to be. They're very good when they're in system. In the game I watched them play last night against Belfouche, they were in system majority of the time. And so when they're able to defend swings that are coming at them, they're a really good ball team. So I think they're going to have some trouble with us. I think we block a little bit better than I saw Belfouche do last night. And I also think that we are able to use a lot of different hitters. And so they're going to have to work to defend that. I think the teams that they've seen are primarily outside, and we have 6 hitters, and we use, right sides, middles, and outside. So we want to keep them guessing, and we're going to be as fierce as we can from the serving line and passing.
One more question, injury-wise, get a chance to get the break. However, you never know when injuries might come. How's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing okay. We had a little ankle injury today, but I'm not even going to get into it because I think we're going to be just fine. We're all thinking positive. We're all thinking ice and ibuprofen, and she's going to get along just fine. So we expect to have everybody there on Tuesday, and if not, our job is to have somebody ready to go. We're not going to use it as any excuse. We got to have somebody ready to play, and so our girl today that slipped, she's going to be fine. That kind of stuff happens. We get through it. She's tough. She already told me she's playing on Tuesday. She doesn't care what her ankle looks like. So I plan on having the normal starters there to go, and if we need to bring somebody up, then we'll do that, and they'll be ready to play Tuesday as well.
Signs of a winning team, doing whatever it takes to get the job done. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. It's a lot of fun, especially right now as you guys are playing really well, but to get a chance to get a break, it's fun to talk to you and kind of figure out how you guys are taking that break, and it's a blast to see how good this team has been playing and the not the expectations, but the limit that this team can go, because the sky is the limit for this team, and it's a lot of fun watching this team and following them along here throughout the season. So I appreciate the time.
Absolutely. It's fun for me to get to brag on them a little bit. So thanks for inviting me, and we'll keep pulling for this community, and this school is the best we can.
Again, Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team, they take on Rapid City Christian next Tuesday, and then O'Gorman on Thursday, Brandon Valley on Saturday, back at home. You can catch the Thursday, Saturday games here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Coach, I appreciate the time. We'll talk again here soon, but we will return here at the Long Branch, and we'll talk with Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes next. You're listening to Coach's Corner, live for the Long Branch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
DT and Dale here for the Long Branch in downtown Pierre. You know, the LB is a great place to kick back, relax, and unwind.
It has been for years, and it has a fantastic menu for lunch or dinner. Love that variety.
Yeah, good point. But we would be remiss if we didn't tell you about the best wings in town.
Tuesdays at the LB, try the delicious wings. And the more you buy, the more you save. The LB, the Long Branch in downtown Pierre. Now the home of KCCR's Coach's Corner, Wednesday evenings.
It takes hard work to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than just sports. It also goes for your financial goals. You work hard for your money. You deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. Your local Edward Jones financial advisor can help. If your investments aren't getting you closer to the win, visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Pierre area Edward Jones office for a financial review. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Avera Health Plans, health insurance is more than just coverage. It's about making connections. We connect you with quality health care so you're covered when you need it. To health coaches and nurses who help meet your health goals. And to a quality network of providers, specialists, and 24/7 virtual care. Our focus is on your everyday well-being. Wherever you are along the journey, choose our health plan with connections. Connect with your agent or visit averahealthplans.com.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit GatewayFordToyota.com.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to Coach's Corner on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, joining me is Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes as we have homecoming week for Stanley County. So, Coach, as we first start off, you ask this every year, but is it any different? Every homecoming's always got a lot of different distractions to it. Coaches probably like it, but maybe don't like it so much because of all the extra distractions.
Yeah, it makes for a tough week. It makes for a fun week for the kids, though, and that's what's important. It gets our guys to relax a little bit during the week and be ready to hopefully be focused for the football game on Friday night. But it's fun with the dress-up days and the parades and the homecoming royalty and all that good stuff. And, our kids enjoy it. And us as coaches, we get to kind of live with it. And we would rather have it business as usual, but, it's a good break for the kids. And hopefully we can play well on Friday night.
Yeah, and you guys get the White River Tigers on a Friday. And as we first talk about your team here, before we talk about White River, what have you seen from your team from last week's performance against Potter County that you liked? I know that you guys lost, but what you liked from your team and some of the things that maybe, again, trying to correct as the season goes on?
Yeah, we started off really well. We did a nice job. We scored right away. We got a couple stops right away. But then defensively, they've got some big, strong kids, and they kind of wore on us as the game went on and that type of deal. And, it was frustrating because defensively our guys were in great spots. We were always having one or two guys there to make a tackle. But, credit to Potter County and their boys. They definitely were in the weight room in the off season, and they were able to split some defenders and break some tackles. And as the game wore on, those big kids are harder and harder to tackle, and that's kind of what led us down that hole. I liked how we bounced back at the end of the game. We put together a touchdown drive on the first time we had the football, and the touchdown drive on one of the last times we had the football. So hopefully we can clean up some of that stuff in between there offensively and get some more points on the board. But defensively, we were in the right spots. We just didn't finish plays. So we've definitely been practicing that this week, and hopefully we can finish plays better than we did last week.
And that's one of the tough things too, is the fact that you guys, it's 9-man football, and which means that you don't have a whole lot of kids to begin with. That's why you're playing 9-man football. You're a little bit on the smaller end of the school. So when you get to this point in the season and trying to work on tackling, it's a little hard because you don't want to hurt these guys. You don't want to get them more beat up than what they already are. So how do you handle that? And when you look at the film and say we need to tackle better, how do you handle trying to preach it, but practice it and practice it in a safe way where these guys aren't tired at the end of the year?
Yeah, that's definitely what's tough for us, especially with 22 boys out for football. We need every one of them, and it's important, but it's the double-edged sword. You want to be physical and you want to get after it in practice, but at the same time, we can't have the wrong student rolling an ankle or hurting a shoulder in practice. It's just we're so thin with our numbers right now that, that would just be catastrophic to our football team. So, it's one of those things that, you live with the mistakes, you kind of can coach them and try to get them to realize, we do a lot of stuff on air and a lot of stuff against the dummies and things like that, but it's not quite the same as, like you said, a live tackle situation. So it's tough. It's like I said, it's a double-edged sword of, yes, we could practice it a ton more in practice, but then we're really rolling the dice and seeing, and we definitely want to keep everybody safe and keep everybody healthy, and so everybody can be available for Friday night.
Again, talking with Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes as they will take on White River in the homecoming game on a Friday, as they will be looking to get to that second win of the season. And when we look at the rest of the schedule, because we will get to White River here in just a moment, but the rest of the schedule, you look at it, everybody at the beginning of your schedule right now is at 500 or above. There's only one team bottom at 500. Everybody else is above 500. You look at the last four games right now, nobody above 500. Now, that doesn't mean wins are guaranteed because you're facing teams under 500, but you can kind of see how tough the first 5 games of the season have been, where then you look at the last 4 games and maybe things are a little bit, I don't want to say easier, but things can maybe feel a little bit better going into those final 4 games. And obviously you don't want to look too far ahead, but you're kind of in that spot where you've played a really tough first half of the schedule and maybe get rewarded now here at the last back end of the schedule.
Yeah, absolutely. We know the teams that we played in the first half of the season, very talented football teams, very well coached, great athletes on those teams. I expect those teams to have nice postseason runs and everything else. So we also envision ourselves as one of those same teams. So it's one of those things that we know we have not lived up to our own expectations that we set on this football team, and those seniors would be the first to say that. So we're looking forward to the next chapter and trying to get that next game. It's always with coaching, we can't live in the past and we can fix those mistakes, but we don't want to look back there too often. That's why your rear view mirror is smaller than your windshield. You're looking out the windshield, seeing what's coming next. And what's coming next for us is White River. And I'm hoping that we put together, our best 4 quarters of football of the season, and we just continue to get a little bit better each week. And hopefully this experience that we've had in the first half of the season kind of helps us get ready for what's coming down the road.
And again, talking with Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. So let's talk about White River. They are 0-4 on the season on film. What have you seen from them that kind of scares you a little bit?
Eldon Marshall's son is a really good football player. He does a lot of good things for them. He makes a ton of tackles. He makes a ton of catches. He's played quarterback for them. He's a really good athlete. And they're trying to find their identity as well. They've switched it up from 3 receivers, 4 receivers, 5 wide receivers at times to getting in the I formation and with a wing. And so they're trying to find their identity, and I think they might have done that. They had a closer game with Phillip last week, and Phillip is perennially a pretty good football team. So hopefully, I think their coach probably thinks they played better last week than they have in the past, and hopefully we can match their intensity and really start fast on Friday night and kind of get ourselves into a good position.
Again, talking with Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes, and you look at the schedule. The first 3 of the first 4 games were on the road, and now 4 of the last 5 games are at home. Now, the Lemon McIntosh game is going to feel like it's about 5 road games in one, as far as you have to travel for the Lemon McIntosh game. However, it is nice to be able to play for that home faithful and not have the travel. Get the guys the field whenever you want to, and get the guys in a routine on a Friday. So, how big is it to finish out the season? Obviously, you still got another road game, but how big is it to finish out the season with the amount of home games that you have?
Yeah, it's nice the way it worked out. It's always easier playing at home, and it's kind of good to get the kids in a routine and be able to be there and be available and, come early and get tapes and not have to take that long bus ride. And so it's always fun. And, yeah, like I said earlier, it's the homecoming week. We expect a lot of people to be able to come out. Our community does such a nice job of supporting us even through tough times like we've had at the start of the season. So, we're looking forward to Friday night, and, we couldn't be more excited to hopefully be 1-0 at the end of the week.
Again, talking with Coach Max Foth, the Stanley County Buffaloes. They take on White River at 7 o'clock kickoff Friday night at Ole Williamson Field, the homecoming game for the Stanley County Buffaloes. We'll change directions here, stay on football, but we'll talk a little bit to NFL because your 49ers are now 2-0. They've got a big game this week against the Packers, but do you have a lot of friends that are Packers fans, and does this game feel, does it kind of a really important game in terms of you really want to beat the Packers?
Yeah, I've got a few friends that are Packers guys. Our assistant coach, Jacob Quigney, is one of the biggest Packers fans So he is going to be given a ton of crap after the Niners handle their business in front of a national televised game. So it'll be good. But, yeah, we got a few players on our team that are Packers fans, and it looks like they started to figure some stuff out against the Lions. But I'm very confident when that game comes around who's going to win that one.
I was going to say, you get a Sunday night football game to go to watch the 49ers and Packers, and or listen to it here on KCCR. But the fact that it's a national spotlight, it's the 49ers, and the 49ers Packers kind of have a little bit of a rivalry as it is. And I was wondering if it felt like a more important game than the first 2 have been, just because bragging rights for you to be able to kind of go to practice on Monday and have a little bit more fun than if it was the other way around and the Packers would beat the 49ers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be fun. It's a good game for the Niners. Obviously against one of the better quarterbacks that ever played the position. So you can definitely see why it's going to be a primetime game. And I'm excited to watch it too. Like I said, I'm very confident in Shanahan and getting everything organized and set up, and hopefully it'll lead to a good week of practice for me.
Talking with Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Again, they take on White River at 7 o'clock Friday night, homecoming game. The Buffs are going to be looking for that second win of the season, as White River is sitting at 0-4 right now, looking for their first win of the year. So, Coach, before I let you go, and you mentioned talking about Aaron Rodgers a little bit, and maybe you're talking about maybe Jimmy Garoppolo and saying that he's one of the best to ever play instead of Aaron Rodgers. I would say you don't have to be correct to me. You don't have to say that stuff. You can let it all hang out, and we're okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love Jimmy GQ. I think he's played well. I think he missed some early passes against Philadelphia that kind of could have separated the game earlier. But I'm confident in him, and I think when he's healthy, he certainly plays good enough for the Niners to win. So that's all that matters.
That's right. And, again, you can catch Sunday Night Football as well as all primetime games here on KCCR, and that 49ers-Packers game will be on here on KCCR on Sunday night. But, Coach, before I let you go here as we wrap things up, what's it going to take here as we'll transition back to high school football? What's it going to take to knock off White River, get that homecoming win on Friday?
I think the biggest thing for us is our physicality has to improve, especially, missing the tackles that we missed last week. It was frustrating to our kids. It was frustrating to our coaches. I'm sure it was probably frustrating to everybody involved. We were right there, and we just didn't make enough plays to keep us in that game and to win that game last week. So I'm looking for us to come out with an attitude, really looking to finish plays. So look for us to really be running to the football and gang tackling and getting there with authority on Friday night.
Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Coach, I appreciate the time as always. Good luck on Friday, and we'll talk again soon here on Coach's Corner.
Sounds good. Thank you.
We will return with more Coach's Corner after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
For an excellent choice to meet, greet, or eat, be sure to head to Downtown Pier and the Long Branch. The Long Branch has plenty of room for the big groups, cozy spots for that intimate setting, and you're going to love the selections and variety on their menu. Plus, their specials are sure to please. There's a fantastic variety of libations available, and it's a great place to unwind. Now, home of KCCR Coach's Corner Wednesday nights, come on down to the LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street, Downtown Pier.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in Central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
As you give the lawn one final pass, enjoy that crisp fall air on your moist, furrowed brow before you throw yourself onto a monstrous pile of leaves and join First Dakota to bank some noise for fall sports. Shriek for floor-rattling spikes, whoop at game-saving stops, and gasp in awe at high-flying stunts. Let them hear you from the cheap seats. Bank some noise with us at First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakota.com. Member FDIC.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wagner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wagner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, wagnerauto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wagner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to wagnerauto.com or stop by Wagner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
At Avera Health Plans, health insurance is more than just coverage. It's about making connections. We connect you with quality health care so you're covered when you need it. to health coaches and nurses who help meet your health goals, and to a quality network of providers, specialists, and 24/7 virtual care. Our focus is on your everyday well-being. Wherever you are along the journey, choose our health plan with connections. Connect with your agent or visit averahealthplans.com.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here live at the Long Branch as we wrap things up here for the day. I'm about to get some food here. I'm looking pretty good as I'm pretty excited for what I'm about to eat, the special here tonight, the burger that the Long Branch has. And you can come join us every Wednesday night here, 5:30 to 6:30. Here for Coach's Corner at the Long Branch and here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, as we will be back here same time, same place next week here at the Long Branch, 5:30 to 6:30, as we will enjoy some more coaches talking some state tournaments. We're going to get close to the state tournaments. Golf and tennis will be on the horizon, so we will talk about some state tournaments upcoming, as well as we'll have our weekly conversation again with Coach Steve Steele. So thanks to our coaches, Coach Steve Steele from the Pierre Governors, Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team, and Coach Max Foth of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Again, 5:30 to 6:30 here to next week, Wednesday, here at Live in the Long Branch, every Wednesday night that you can join us on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Don't forget, we got baseball coming up here tonight on KCCR, the Giants and Padres. The coverage will start at 8:30 here on at KCCR. So signing off the Long Branch, you've been listening to Coach's Corner, live from the Long Branch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Listening to Coach's Corner on KCCR and online at kccrradio.com. Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch has been brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Birding Electric, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Owyhee Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner on KCCR is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. Join us every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 6:30 for Coach's Corner, live at the Long Branch in Pierre or on air at KCCR or kccrradio.com. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting